Hey guys, what's going on? Mike the Caveman Kuhn here again from Paleo Problem Long Island and MikeTheCaveman.com. And for today's question, we're going to be talking about why calories in, calories out is a flawed model when it comes to weight loss. Now, we already addressed that weight loss is a consequence of health. The problem is by using the calories in, calories out model, what we're doing is we are focusing on that result to the detriment of how you're doing it, okay? So a lot of times when you're just focusing on reducing your calories and not caring about the quality of the food, you're going to end up with a bad result. The reason being, 1,200 calories of one thing is not the same as 1,200 of another. 1,200 calories of Twinkies is not the same as 1,200 calories of some quality animals and some quality fats like coconut oil and grass-fed butter, and even vegetables. The reason being, you get a different hormonal response. So people try and go back to the first law of thermodynamics, energy can't be created or destroyed. So yeah, when the calories come in, the calories have to go out, right? No, because those calories can be stored as fat. How does it do that? Well, insulin has a lot of roles, but its biggest purpose is to take sugar and to store it somewhere. Either it goes into your muscle and it rebuilds glycogen, or it goes into your fat cells for later storage. Now, that being said, where it goes depends on what you've been doing. You just worked out a bunch, sure. Then you can want to have a little bit of carbohydrate afterwards. It will replace your glycogen stores because you just depleted them. But if you've been relatively sedentary, those high insulin levels are no good because over time, they are repeated stress. You keep taking that sugar in and your body jumps that insulin, and then as it jumps that insulin, it brings the blood sugar down, and then you go on that roller coaster. You're on that blood sugar roller coaster, and your body wants more sugar. So if you keep eating lots of sugar, your insulin spikes, then your blood sugar drops, and insulin drops, and then it goes up and it goes down. If, on the other hand, you choose non-starchy, fibrous vegetables, or you choose quality fats, or you choose quality proteins, you're not going to get that same insulin response. So 1,200 calories coming in of Twinkie is going to turn down fat release, okay? When insulin levels are lower, fat is able to be liberated from your body. If, however, you're eating foods that release insulin, you're not going to be able to burn that fat. If you choose foods that don't raise insulin, you will be able to liberate your own body fat. So that 1,200 calories from the more protein and fat-dense sources is going to give a different end result. It's super important to think about the choices of the foods you're eating. Because of that, the problem is we're focusing too much on the pure amount of calories. Yes, if you're trying to talk about optimization of body fat, if you're talking about dropping from 10% to 5% for a short-term period for a show or for a competition, or if you're a weight class athlete, then sure. At that point, calories will matter a little bit. But having been a fighter myself, I still never measure calories. It had nothing to do with anything. You eat real foods and you're fuller for longer. Your hormones are not dysregulated and telling you that you're hungry even though you just ate. Your hormones will actually send the proper hunger signals, okay? You're not going to be overly hungry when you haven't eaten and when you've eaten the right foods. It's super important to choose those right foods because it's going to change the way your hormones are released. Now, this question came to me based on an article a friend of mine had seen, and it said that basically neuroscience is the answer. That people get stressed from eating that low-calorie diet, and that's absolutely right. That kind of reduced calorie is and can be a hormetic stressor. We've talked about that a bunch of times. The problem is when you reduce calories too low for too long, we pass that allostatic threshold. We pass that load. So what happens? You're down too low for too long. Well, it breaks. We've talked about that before. So things can be a hormetic stressor. Short term, low dose. You drop your calories too low for too long, what's going to happen? You're going to break, like we said. So remember, you want to control your hormones. You want to manage them, regulate your hormones. Don't worry about the scale. The scale is inconsequential. What's important is focusing on that health. Focus on regulating your hormones, and you're not going to be hungry when you eat. Get off that roller coaster, and you're going to see better results. So how do you do that? Like we said, and let's say it again, eat real food. That means the quality fats, quality proteins, quality vegetables. If you are more active, then sure, you can add in a little bit of fruits and resistant starches. We haven't really touched that one yet, but I've written about it before. If you want more information, you let me know and we'll go into it. But if you're not very active or you're starting to get active, well, then you can drop the carbs pretty darn low, because that's going to help control the insulin levels. Controlling those insulin levels will control your other hormones. You're going to have a lot of benefit from that. So what I want you guys to focus on is your health. Forget the scale. Forget the weight. Forget calories in, calories out. They don't matter, because physiology is physiology. Physics is physics. You're not going to break the first law of thermodynamics by focusing on your hormones and not on calories, because some calories will come in and get stored, some will go in and go out, and if you're eating real food, most of them are going to go out, and you're going to liberate your own energy. You're going to liberate your own fat stores. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I can go a little deeper into it if you'd like, but let me know. Either way, you know what to do. Like and subscribe down below. You can find me over on Instagram and Twitter at Mike the Caveman. You can find me over on Facebook at Paleo Primal Long Island, and of course over on MikeTheCaveman.com. That being said, guys, enjoy this beautiful weather and stop stressing. You know that's going to be worse for you long term. It's going to throw your hormones off HP axis.